In this video, I'm going to show you how to install and configure the best WordPress template for e-commerce website, so you can create an online store like this one, and I'm talking about Astra. So let's start discussing what is a theme. A theme is in charge of the look and feel of a website. So if you hover over your website name and right click there and open in a new window, you can see your website. This design is determined by your theme. So we are going to change this theme, and we are going to do that going back to the administrator section and going to the appearance tab. Here you can click the add new button to add a new theme. And here on the search box, we are going to type Astra. The first result is the right one. So click on the install button, wait for the thing to download, and next click on the activate button. Now if you go to the appearance tab again, you are going to see that our active theme is the Astra theme. So if you go to the website and refresh, you are going to see that now the website looks different because we changed our theme. The next thing we have to do is go back to the administration and click on the plugins, add new menu. And here search for the starter themes plugin. If you see this plugin, click on the install button and then click on the activate button. Now that we activate this plugin, we are going to have a new menu under appearance, starter templates. Click there and you are going to see a window like this one. So you have to scroll down a little bit and you are going to see this button. Click there and click on the Elementor button. The purpose of this plugin is to give you a lot of starter templates, so you have many options to select from. In this case, we are going to select or click on the e-commerce button, and there you have all of the templates related with e-commerce. The one we are going to use today is located below and is called Simply Natural. So click there. And now we can select our logo, but we can do that after. So click on the skip and continue button. And now you can select a color scheme. Let's do the default ones because we can change again everything. So scroll down a little bit and click on the continue button. And here, please leave all of these options checked and click on the submit and build my website button. This may take a little bit, so be patient. Our website is done. So now if you go back to your website, the front end and the other tab, and you refresh your website, you are going to see a fully functional website now, an e-commerce that we are going to use as a starter template. So now let's go back to the administration and click on this icon to exit to the dashboard. You might see a lot of messages, so you can close all of them here and skip setup. And next we are going to delete all the unneeded pages. So please click on the pages menu and we are going to delete the about page, the cart page because we have it duplicated, the checkout page because we have another duplicate, the contact page, or you can leave it this one if you want. We are going to delete the my account, the one that is not labeled as my account page, and we are going to delete the sample page and the shop page, yeah, all of them. So now click here and click on the move to trash option and then click apply. All of these pages are going to move to the trash. Now we have only the pages we are going to use. Now I'm going to show you how to customize the template. Hover over the appearance menu and click the customize menu. We are going to be taken to the customizer. And here you can customize everything from your header to your footer, all of the general, let's say, options are available to be customized. So if you hover over your logo, you can click on the edit button or the pencil and you can change your logo. If you click on the pencil on the header section, you can change the header section. If you click on the menu, you can change your menu. If you click on the card icon, you can change that too. If you click on the account, you can change how the account looks like. So the first thing we are going to edit is the menu to be able to navigate through the store. Remember that we already deleted some pages, so some of them might not be available. Make sure to go back, clicking the left arrow button again until you're on this view. So now click on the menu and now click on the main menu option. And now you can notice that all of the links here belongs to the main menu here. And we can add new items or reorder the current items. Click on the add items button and you now will be able to delete some of the pages. Let's remove this one that says invalid. Click on the X button and let's delete the store page that says Elementor and the contact us page that says Elementor. And let's add the page that says shop page. Let's click there on the plus icon and it's going to be added here. And now let's click on the reorder link. Now you see that each menu has some arrows. You can click on the top to make it go to the top. And let's position this one as second. Click on the done options and now you have a functional menu. Let's click now on the shop page and this is how your website will look like. Let's start by changing the global options like the background color, the font size, the colors and the font type. To do that, let's go back here again and make sure you are on this section and now click on the global option. Click on the typography menu and now here you can change the typography of the whole website. So you can choose any of the fonts you have available here. So the presets have one font for the headings and one font for the body. Each time you click on the preset, you are changing basically these two font types. If you click on the reset button, it's going to change to the original theme font. Of course, you can select the font you want, but in this case, I'm going to leave the original font since I like it. Now let's go back and click on the colors option. Now here you can define a global palette. Here is where you have to add the colors of your brand. In this case, I'm going to click on the pencil button and as you can see here, we have some predefined color palettes. I'm going to click on the second one since I like the colors it has. And as you can see, all of the colors of the template changed. Now if you click on the close button, you can override this colors palette and add the ones you like. As secondary color, I'm going to click in this icon to add a hexadecimal color and I'm going to paste my color. Now I have it here and as color number 5, since these two are white, I'm going to change this one to be a gray color. I'm going to click on the icon and paste a gray color. This is going to be my color palette and as you can see, I have a background color here that I don't like. To change that, I'm going to click on the side background option, click here, and I'm going to select the white color. Now my background is white. I'm going to hit the publish button just to see how my website is changing. So I'm going to go to the website here and I'm going to refresh. Now all of the buttons and the colors of the website are different. If I go to the shop page, everything is going very well. Now let's continue. And if there is something that you want to change, like the accent color, the link color, you can change it from here. The headings color, for instance, and the links color, this is the normal state and this is the hover state. So if you see here, when I hover over a link, it's going to change to the second color. I'm happy with my color, so I can go back and let's see what the containers option has. This option is going to define the layout, the basic layout or the default layout of my website. I'm going to leave the default one and I'm going to leave this container width. So I'm going to go back. Now we are going to check the buttons menu. If you go back to the home page, because we need some buttons to preview, you can see that there are some buttons here. If you click the buttons option and you can start clicking the presets, you now see that the buttons are going to change. Select one of the presets and then start personalizing from there. So let's say that I want these rounded buttons, and now you can start personalizing the text color. I'm going to leave it white, the background, the hover state, and the border color, but in this case we don't have any border, so it doesn't matter. If you click on the reset button, everything is going to go back to the default. And here you can add more padding, that is inner space, the space between the text and the border. Let's say I want 15 here on the top and 15 on the bottom and 25 on the right and 25 on the left. And here with the border radius option, you can select how rounded the corners are. Once you are happy with your buttons, click on the publish button. And now let's see how the buttons change on the home page. If you click the home page here, you can see that the buttons now are rounded as we selected on the customizer. Now let's go back to the administration and scroll up and go back to the previous section. And now let's go back again, because now we are going to work on our header. So click on the shop page. And now let's click on the header builder. This is a very interesting option because now you have three sections, 1, 2, and 3. And each section has 3 columns. As you can see here, you have the site title and logo here. Then you have a blank space, and after you have a primary menu, that is this menu. You have the card, that is this one, and you have the account, that is this one. And you can drag and drop any of these items or add new items to create your custom header. So if you want your primary menu to be on the left column, you can drag and drop there. Or if you want it on the center column, it's going to work very well. I'm going to drag here my reference website, the one that I already made. And as you can see here, I'm going to add a top header with a text. I'm going to add the logo, the menu on the center column. And on the right side, I'm going to have a search bar, the card, and the account. So let's do that by going again to the customizer. And here I'm going to add the text. I'm going to copy this text. And going back to the administration, I'm going to hit the plus icon here and I'm going to select HTML1. Now my top header is visible and I have a text box here. So I'm going to click in this item, and now you see that I have the option to add my HTML or my text. So I'm going to paste here my text, and now we have our custom text on top. Now that we have our section visible, we can click here on the gear button, or we can click here on the pencil button to customize the background color of this top header. When you click there, you are going to see 2 tabs. On the general tab, you can change the height of the top menu. You can make it bigger or smaller. I'm going to leave it in 40 pixels of height. And on the design tab, you can change the background color. I'm going to select this gray. I'm going to remove the border bottom, changing this to 0. And now I'm going to leave everything as is now. If I click again the HTML1 component, I can click on the Design tab to change the color and the font size of this text. So I'm going to make this text smaller, let's say 14 is okay. And you can change the text color, let's say something less darker, something like this. I like that. And now I'm going to add another component, that is the search bar here. So I'm going to click on the plus button and I'm going to select the search. Now I can drag the search to the right, and if I see my reference website is very close to what I need, I just need to change the logo and I need to change how the icons looks like. I'm going back to the customizer, and in order to change my logo, I can hover over the logo and I can click the pencil, or I can click the component site title and logo, and we are on the general tab. Now we can change our logo by clicking on this button, change logo, and we are going to see the WordPress media library. Here you can drag and drop your file, your image, or you can click the select file button and you can search for your image. Double click to open it and it's going to be uploaded. Now here on the alt text, add a description of your image. And then click on the select button. Here you can click the skip cropping button. And now we are going to get rid of this text here by clicking on the display site title option, disabling that. Now we have only our logo. We are going to make it bigger by dragging this size I like. I'm going to add 200. And now I'm going to work on my menu. So click on the pencil button hovering over the menu, or clicking on the primary menu component. And now I'm going to click on the design tab. And the only thing I'm going to change here is that I'm going to make the font size uppercase. I can do that by going down to the font section and clicking on the pencil. And now I'm going to add a text transform. I'm going to click on the uppercase option and they are going to be uppercase. Now on the weight options, I'm going to select semi-bold. Well, that was too much. Medium maybe. Yeah, I like that. So I'm done with the menu. I'm going to click the X button to close everything. But just a reminder, you can change everything here. You can change the text links, colors. You can add a spacing. You can add a border color. You can change the animation, and well, a lot of things. Now let's hit publish to see how is it going. I'm going to go to the front end and to the shop page. And the website is looking really good. Now I'm going to personalize how these icons look like. Let's go back to the customizer and let's click on each of the components, or by clicking on the component here. So for the search icon, on the design tab, you can change the color of the icon. I'm going to leave it as is now. So I'm going to personalize now the card by clicking here on the component, or by hovering over the card and clicking on the pencil. Here you can personalize the icon that is going to be used here. I like this back, the first one. You can personalize the label, that in this case is the cart total. What I'm going to do is to delete everything. I'm going to leave this empty. You can display the cart count, the number here. You can hide the cart total label. Well, I removed from here, so it's the same. And you can change how the cart will look like when the customer click on the actual cart, on the cart icon. By default, it's a sliding cart, but it can be a drop-down cart as well. So to check how it works, I'm going to add a product on the front end. I'm going to go back to the front end here, and I'm going to select one of the products. And now I'm going to add to cart one of them. Now that we have one of the products, I'm going to go back to the customizer, and I have one already. So now I can see it in action. So as you can see, it's a sliding cart, but I can make it a drop-down cart. Let's see how it looks. When you hover over, the drop-down cart appears, but I like the slide-in cart better. Great, so it's appearing on the right side, but you can change it to the left side. The most standard way to display it is on the right, so I'm going to leave it on right. I'm going to leave the sliding cart width by default, how is it now. And now I'm going to click on the design button. So I'm going to click the cart just to check how this slide cart is looking. But first, we can change the cart icon. So I'm going to close this one just to see the cart icon, and you can change it to be outline or to be filled. I like the outline style, and you can change here the cart color. I'm going to choose the dark color, the dark gray. And on the count color, we can change also the color of the text here. I'm going to leave it a white, and here white as well on the hover state. For the border radius, I'm going to leave it in 0, and the size, I'm going to leave it in 15. Now we can customize the cart tray by clicking on the button and to have a preview here. So you can change the background, the separator color, the links color, and you can personalize also the buttons. This is the cart button, and this is the checkout button. You can change the text and the background. Now you have the spacing. I'm going to leave everything as is now, and now I'm going to hit publish. I'm going to check how is it going here by going to the shop page. Okay, everything is looking really good. Now I'm going again to the customizer just to finish customizing this session icon by clicking on the pencil or by clicking on the account component. So for the profile type, I'm going to select icon to display this gray icon. On the account URL, I'm going to leave my account only this part. But you might think why it is my account URL. That's the URL because we created a page, or the theme or the starter theme created a page that is called my account. I'm going to show you this by clicking here and going to the pages. And you can see here that we have a my account page, and if we click on the view button, I can see here that my page has a URL that is my account too. So what I'm going to do here is to go back, and I'm going to change the URL of this page, clicking on the quit edit button, and I'm going to remove the -2, erase that, and hit update. Now I'm going to click again to the view button, and now the URL is correct. It's my -account. I'm going to go to the customizer and verify that it is the same URL here. Now I can continue customizing the account icon. So for the logged out view, I'm going to leave the icon, and again the login URL is going to be my account. So I'm going to copy here this URL, and I'm going to paste it here. My account is the same one. So now I can hit publish, and I can go back to the products page or the shop page, and my header is completed. Now it's time to work on the footer. To do so, I'm going to see our reference page. I'm going to go to scroll down, and this is the footer. So we are going to follow the same logic. I'm going to go to the customizer, I'm going to scroll down, and this is our footer. So we can go back here on the left arrow all the way until this section, and you can click on the footer builder. So the first thing I'm going to do is to change the background color of the main footer and of the bottom footer. So to do that, let's go back to the customizer, and I'm going to click on the outer section of the main footer, and you can see here the pencil. You can click there, or you can click on the gear icon of the main footer, that is this one, the second one. If you click on the design tab, you can change the border. I'm going to leave it in 0, and you can change the background. I'm going to select my light gray from the template, and you can change many other options like the inner column spacing. And if you go back to the general tab, you can change how many columns you want to have on your main footer. Right now we have 4. And you can also change the layout. You can change also how the inner elements are going to behave. You have the stack option or the inline option. That means that each component is going to take 100% of the column. So I have here the logo and the social links, and one is above the other. To change this logo, you can hover over the logo and click on the pencil button, and you'll see this welcome message. You can hit the got it button, and now you have the text editor. You can delete this by selecting and deleting, and now you can add your logo by clicking on the add media button and selecting your logo from the library. You can use the one you already uploaded for the header, or you can add a new one by clicking here in upload files. I'm going to use the one I have already, and you can click and insert into post. Now my logo is changed. You can change the social icons also clicking on the pencil icon, and you can rearrange, hide, or delete any of the social media. You can also add more social icons by clicking here. You can show the label, and you can change the alignment. You can also change the design of the buttons, their size, and their spacing. I'm going to leave it as is now, and I'm going to do a general change on the main footer. I'm going to click on the pencil icon on the outside of the footer to edit the whole section, and I'm going to select only 3 columns. I'm going to select the second layout to leave it more space to the logo, and I like how it looks now. What I'm going to do is to change this menu. You can do that by clicking on the pencil icon, and you can create and add different pages by clicking here on the add items. You can delete or you can add more pages. You can also add posts, landing page, products, product categories, whatever you want. In this case, I'm going to leave it as is now. And now I'm going to personalize the bottom footer by hovering over the footer and clicking on the pencil. This is going to take me to the previous page, to the previous screen. And I'm going to scroll down all the way. And for this footer, I'm going to choose only one column. And now I'm going to click on the design tab, and I'm going to change the background color to be the same as the main footer. For the border size, I'm going to leave it in 0 to remove this top border. And now I'm going to center this text. To do that, I'm going to click on the copyright component. And now, if you scroll down, you're going to see this alignment option. So I'm going to click on the center. Now I'm going to publish. And I'm going to check on the front end. I'm going to refresh. And now my footer is complete.